right now at 10. What's next for the FBI after President Trump fires the head of the department?
A federal investigation involving an app Uber is accused of using to avoid law enforcement could have ties to Austin.
And after a story goes viral about a romance scam, the man behind the photo says he's a victim too. The Night Beat starts now. First thing tonight, it is what everyone is talking about, the firing of the FBI director and what that means to the investigation into the president's possible ties to Russia.
FBI Director James Comey was in the middle of that investigation before President Donald Trump fired him today. ABC's Lana Zach has the very latest.
James Comey boarded a plane in Los Angeles, deciding not to attend an FBI event after learning he had been fired as the head of the FBI, effective immediately. President Trump writing, "It is essential that we find new leadership for the FBI that restores public trust and confidence." The White House says that the president was influenced in part by the recommendation of his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who had recused himself from the Russia investigation. And that has Senate Democrats concerned about the future of the ongoing FBI investigation into Russian influence over the election. Comey was overseeing it, and some saying now that his firing demonstrates a pattern.
They fired Sally Yates. They fired Preet Bharara, and now they fired Director Comey.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said a special investigator must now be appointed, and if not,
every American will rightly suspect that the decision to fire Director Comey was part of a cover-up.
The controversial Comey had drawn ire from both Democrats and Republicans at various times. Just days before the presidential election, Comey was responsible for a bombshell announcement that he would be reopening the investigation into Clinton's emails. He later testified on the ramifications of that decision.
It makes me mildly nauseous to think that we might have had some impact on the election.
And it's not just Democrats that are concerned about the timing of Comey's firing. Many Republicans are calling it fishy. In fact, the Senate Intelligence Committee chairman, a Republican, said his dismissal further complicates an already difficult investigation. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Comey is the third person involved in the Russia White House investigation who has been fired. Sally Yates was dismissed January 30th after she refused to defend the first draft of his travel ban. New York-based U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara was fired in March after he refused his request to resign, along with 45 other U.S. attorneys across the country. Bharara received regular intelligence briefings but was not making day-to-day decisions in the Russian White House investigation.
The American Civil Liberties Union has issued a travel alert for Texas tonight. This comes just 2 days after Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill to ban so-called sanctuary cities. The law cracks down on policies on jurisdictions that do not detain known criminals accused of violent crimes. The Night Beat's Brandon Jones breaks it down.
This travel alert made by the American Civil Liberties Union wants to get your attention tonight. It's in response to the governor's signing to ban sanctuary cities right here in Texas. You know, the organization claims all travelers, including U.S. citizens, should be advised if they may encounter illegal arrest, racial profiling, and demand to show immigration documents. This flyer leaves a lot of questions for some.
Who's going to be stopped? Who's going to be questioned? And what are you going to base the questioning on?
In what instance would someone be asked about their immigration status during a routine traffic stop? We decided to take a look at the department policies of both the Austin Police Department and Travis County Sheriffs. Public Information Officer Kristen Dark with the Sheriff's Office says under their current policy, traffic stops by Sheriff's deputies do not ask for immigration status. SB 4 goes into effect September 1st. The ACLU feels the travel alert is not a scare tactic, but a way to warn people of their constitutional rights.
All eyes are on Texas now. The community, not just immigrant community, but, you know, nationwide, all Americans are concerned that Texas has passed the most racist law in the nation. So all eyes are on Texas now.
Now, as far as the Austin Police Department, we made calls to the department and to the Public Information Officer. So far, we have not heard back. They do have policies on their website, but they are not very clear. We'll let you know when we hear back. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Brandon. So here's the breakdown of the bill signed into law. Senate Bill 4 requires all Texas law enforcement to honor ICE detainers. It allows police to ask people about their immigration status during an arrest or a detainment, like a routine traffic stop. Critics say it amounts to racial profiling. Supporters say the law keeps people safe.
Uber is making waves once again in Austin, this time as part of a federal investigation. The Night Beat's Tina Shively has been looking into this story. She has the latest now, all new at 10.
The Department of Justice has contacted Austin City Transportation and Aviation Department employees and told them they can expect subpoenas. Our sister publication, USA Today, reports the agency is looking into the company's Ghost app program known as Grayball. I reached out to Uber for confirmation, and they directed me to this blog post on their website about the technology issued back in March. It explains Grayball's intended usage, including testing new features by employees and to deter riders using the app in violation of the company's terms of service. The post also says it began, quote, prohibiting its use to target action by local regulators. The New York Times first reported on the technology back in March, claiming a code enforcement inspector in Portland, Oregon, tried to hail an Uber car in a sting operation against the company. Now, here's what that may have looked like on the inspector's phone. We've recreated it here. Some of the digital cars they saw in the app did not represent actual vehicles. Others quickly canceled. Now, the paper says that was because Uber used Grayball to tag the inspector as a city official. It showed a fake version of the app populated with ghost cars to evade capture. The Department of Justice did not return my request for more information on the investigation. The city of Austin has not received any subpoenas. Tina Shively, KVUE News.
University Medical Center Brackenridge will soon be moving locations and getting a name change. The hospital will be moving across 15th Street later this month to a brand new facility and changing its name to Dell Seton Medical Center at the University of Texas. Brackenridge will be closed and only psychiatric services will remain. Seton says the move will ensure the safety of those in their care.
And that's a day that we have very well planned, executed very well down to the minute. So we'll be tracking the time a patient leaves their room, when they arrive to the first floor, when they're put in an ambulance, then when they arrive to our front door here, when they go into an elevator, and then when they arrive up on their floor and then into their room.
The new facility will house 211 beds and have 7 floors. This is what the patient rooms, helipad, and operating rooms will look like. According to Central Health, who owns the Brackenridge property, there are plans to redevelop the old facility into a mixed-use community. That would include office buildings, apartments, and shops.
We are in the Storm Center now with Albert Ramon. We had an active day today, some heavy rain, some lightning and things like that, and it's not quite over yet, I guess, huh?
No, we'll have another repeat for some scattered showers and isolated storm tomorrow. I think the best chance for maybe a strong thunderstorm will come on Thursday, but a lot of this activity earlier today driven by daytime heating, so we're quiet on the max storm radar. Temperatures right now ranging from 70 in Mason and Fredericksburg to 75 degrees in Bastrop. A lot of the action tonight has been in New Mexico and also in the western portions of the Panhandle of Texas. That's where a tornado watch is in effect until 11 p.m. A couple of tornadoes, about 7 in all, west of Lubbock into New Mexico. Here's the storm system that will keep those rain chances around tomorrow, and as it moves to the north of us, a strong thunderstorm will be possible as we head into Thursday. Behind this system, though, great looking weekend, just in time for Mother's Day. We'll talk about that coming up.
The House of Representatives has just 3 days left to vote on House bills, but most of today's agenda was spent on a bill-killing tactic called chubbing. That's where a lawmaker debates a bill for 10 minutes, knocking it off of the local and consent calendar, which means the representatives can't vote on it. More than 20 bills were knocked off today. The author of one bill killed today called out lawmakers for playing political games.